What is going on, Cosmic Crew? I did it again. I remembered. Welcome to the Cosmic Variance Authority podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Warren. With me is Chris.
Me.
Chris had a nice vacation, or
I
maybe
did.
not a nice vacation. I mean, nice vacation, but tiring, right?
No, it was lovely. We did. So I've been a little thing about Warren and I. We have one detail that really differs us. I'm a park guy. Warren's not so much of a park guy. Warren's not a park guy. Granted,
I grew up in Orlando, Florida. I have spent
you've done your park days.
more than enough time at Universal and Disney. Wet and Wild when that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've paid my dues.
Yeah, so
I'm good now, though.
we just got to do Epic Universe, the new Universal Park with the Nintendo World, the new Ministry ride. They've got like the How to Train Your Dragon World and the Universal Monster World, like all of that stuff. And then we did the other Universal parks as well. But I just got back home last night, like 2 a.m, and I have not recouped just yet. But I do have a lot of fun with the parks. So
Yes. So actually, you mentioned something that we're going to talk about today, kind of the Nintendo live action universe that's happening. Yes. What?
I'm very excited for it. Like they were.
So, did you see the big reveal for who's in the movie?
I'm assuming you're talking about Commander Fox.
Fox Mccloud, Starfox.
So
yeah, it's crazy to me that they revealed it.
So
close
here's
to
what
the
my
movie.
question is for it, because in my head, you did your Mario movie, you're doing your Mario Galaxy movie, which is like Mario's big next step. So they're like fast forwarding through it. And I actually had this discussion with Alex and with one other person, shout out Augie, but we were talking about how the steps for the Mario verse, they're really just fast forwarding it. They're not going the MCU route, which I don't think is a bad idea, where they're like, oh, here's Iron Man in his movie, here's Captain America, and like they easily could be like, here's a Mario movie. Okay, we'll do spin-off movies here, there, and there, and make it a long time to get to Mario Galaxy, which is the proverbial like Avengers Endgame almost moment for them. But they're just going,
I know what it is.
Well, no, because you're gonna say it's gonna be the brawl, but that's like Secret Wars. That's like where everything comes together and this multiverse. So they're like jumping through it really, really fast. But I think that's a good idea, because I don't think Nintendo is a 30 movie franchise. I think they need to do, hey, here's our introduction. Hey, here's a really big Mario movie to follow it, and then maybe the third in our trilogy is gonna be this. Let's bring in Sonic. Let's bring in Link. Let's bring in all these other movies and like really get into it. And I think that from that point, then they can spread out and start doing one-off projects. So I actually really like the model that they went with. They chose not to milk it. They chose to get into it and really get exciting with it. But what do you think about it? We haven't discussed this at all since the trailer came out and everything, so it's kind of interesting.
I think a Smash Bros. Movie is coming. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
That's what I think the Avengers is, right? Super Mario Galaxy, yeah, you're having a lot of people, but it's still a lot of Mario people. Like, it's still a Mario movie, right?
Right.
Like, you still have Bowser as the villain, and all the same Mario characters pretty much. And then you're just adding Fox Mccloud. And I do wonder, would they do a solo Star Fox movie? You know what I mean? Like, would they do a Metroid Samus movie? You know what I mean? Like,
but that would go crazy.
That's what I think everybody would.
So, well, given your history with the characters and with Nintendo, like, what movies do you? Not even would you be interested in, but do you think the general population would be interested? And then, of course, comments like let us know, maybe yes or no. Would you genuinely think people would be excited for like a Link movie? Yes, we know we're getting the series. Like, people would be excited for Zelda.
Yeah, but that's like so different. That's like not even related.
Well, I mean, he shows up in the games.
I know, but the movie has no relation to these.
Okay, so you're thinking that they'll make like their own. That's like, because so my thought was the Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and all of that world, it's not really related at all, but that's a very well developed introduction of those characters that they could cross over. Like, that's where I'm wondering where the crossovers are, because Sonic's in the Smash game.
Yeah, I don't think like, I don't think worlds collide. I think it's characters colliding, and I don't know if that means, like, I almost feel like they would be not necessarily different, but they would come in and they would be animated, right? So like the Zelda movies live action, Sonic's partially live. I mean, it's mostly live action,
it's live
except
action.
for Sonic
They're
and
designed
everybody.
live action.
So like I think they could bring these characters in, but they have to animate them, and you can kind of act like the stories that we've seen outside of the Mario movies are canon, but you don't really have to address it. You can just have them show up, and they're just heroes for whatever is about to happen, whether it's Super Smash Bros. And everyone just fights each other for whatever reason it may be,
cool like
or they come together to fight a giant threat, or it's both, right? All of the heroes come in to fight a bunch of different villains at the same time. But I think the only way the movies would be related is if it's just like an unspoken canon thing to where it's like, yes, this is the same Sonic and like Knuckles and Tails, whoever they bring in from, these movies. They don't necessarily say it, but it is the same. And I don't know how the rights work for it all. You know what I mean? Like,
like where it like
because Sony's
lands.
making the Zelda movie, right? So I don't really know how that all works. It's not something I've like dove really into. You want to know how like Marvel rights work? I got you. But
I got you down to the letter. I could slice you the
Sony
contract.
with Spider-Man, I got you. But those characters, I'm not really sure. I'm sure we'll get some comments of some people who do know.
Yeah.
But I think it would have to. I almost think it would have to be different. But you don't that's my thing, is like you don't necessarily have to say anything. You can just act like the same characters from these movies and not say it.
Yeah, it doesn't need, like, you could do little
they're
nods and little comments. I think out of every possible character combination, and I would say most people probably agree with me on this. I'm speaking very ignorantly on the matter. Like you said, my market research on this isn't nearly as tapped, but I think most people would be like, yes, what I want to see is Mario and Sonic. I would feel like those are the two most famous video game IPs in this area. They both have very successful movie franchises going on right now. If you're connecting universes, if you're having characters interact, those would be the two that's my number one. Mario and Sonic on a screen together. They got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was huge. Like a huge video game. Like that's just something that I think a collaboration on the big screen, which I don't disagree with you. I think given that Sonic's super live action and Mario's got its whole little, like that is a hard bridge to cross, but I would really, really like to see that.
Well, and like it's also kind of weird because it's like Pokemon's like my favorite thing ever. Like I mean I definitely played like Mario.
Oh, that's in the Smash
64.
games too. I forgot about that.
What?
They
are
like
in the
that's
Smash
all
Bros,
in there.
right? You have like Mewtwo and Pikachu, and then you
Pokemon
have
trainer.
a trainer, right? Who exactly. I don't think I'd really want that to cross over. I really liked what they did with Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu,
and I wanted just I just wanted a real Pokemon movie after that, in the exact same way that they did for Detective Pikachu. It's like live action. It's like Sonic, right? It's like live action, but like the characters, the Pokemon are animated, right? Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want a whole animated Pokemon movie. I don't want Pokemon to have a Mario treatment. I don't want that at all.
Would you want them to pick up and just remake the first season, not shot for shot, but essentially the first season of Pokemon, but live action like that?
Hell yeah.
You would love that?
Hell, I would love it.
Yeah.
It would be my favorite thing. It would be my literal favorite thing. It might surpass if they did it right. It might surpass anything Marvel has done.
Wow.
Because like Pokemon is my childhood.
That was your childhood, like specifically your childhood.
It literally the shows, that was when like TiVo came out. So my dad would TiVo them all for me. So I literally would watch. It was Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z when I was young, but I played the game and collected all the cards.
And have them
like
all
the
today.
First 4 decks that came out for Pokemon, the first 4 series, I have to this day, still have every single. You were here when you were here. I showed you.
We were looking at
every single card. I probably have $50,000. I don't know how much, right? Tens of thousands of dollars of Pokemon cards that I collected as a kid. It would be amazing if they did it right. I would love it.
Yeah,
I would freaking love it. As long as Netflix doesn't do it, I don't want you to do it. Netflix.
That's the thing that would be so cool, I guess. And I think now that you've like mentioned it, because my first thought is like, oh yeah, I just go full forward for 100%. Like, yes. But I feel like a lot of kids.
What do you mean?
The combination of everything. I know it took a long time to get my point. Like the movies all connecting, the Smash Bros.
Right, I got you.
Because it's interesting in the sense that there are so many different directions and experiences that throughout generations kids have had. Like I would say if you had to gun to my head, what was your number one of the genre that we're talking about? It would be Sonic. I played every single Sonic game. I finished every single Sonic game. Me and my siblings went crazy on so many different Sonic games. We did play Mario. We enjoyed Pokemon and then Marvel, even like Spider-Man and all of that deal. But it was Sonic for me. And I think every kid had a unique experience. Some like Pokemon, some liked Mario exclusively. It depends what console your family had. It depends what television channels your family had or what your parents' experience was. So there would be such a cool divide across the generations if they were to do some type of Sonic versus Mario versus Pokemon. I know you just said you wanted it out, but for the point of the nostalgic feeling of how cool that would be, it would be really cool to have everybody like, well, I was a Pokemon kid, I was a Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, a Sonic kid, a Mario kid. I just think there's a really
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I literally tried to be Spider-Man.
In every pool I was ever in, I sat in the corner of the pool trying to be Spider-Man. So I don't disagree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I would want it to be separate. Like, if you do a live-action Pokemon series or movie or whatever, then it's just a whole different thing, whole different stories and everything than if you brought Pikachu in to do Super Smash Brothers.
Right.
Because it's like, I agree, you can go forward with it really fast, and I think that'd be really cool. Just almost kind of keep it separated, or if you don't keep it separated, don't bring too much of the films into it too much, because I don't want like I don't want the real life worlds to bleed over into this animation.
Yeah, really, and I think that's
the
really
characters
the biggest problem.
But keep the world separate, keep the story separate.
Yeah. Well, I'm really curious because I don't think Mario Galaxy is going to introduce, and this was what literally started the conversation, too much in the Mario Galaxy movie. I feel like the big reveal they did give us was more like leaning into the future. Like I think there might be a character or two in the Mario Galaxy movie, but not that many. So I was surprised that they like revealed it before the movie came out, because I think that's going to be like a big reveal in the movie. But we'll have to just wait and see.
What's funny is I saw something that was like, they were forced to reveal it because fans noticed Starfox in one of the posters. And in one of the posters, or in like one of the scenes, I can't remember where it was, you can see just like, literally just like an arm and a leg, like cut down the middle. It's not cut, but you know, the frame cuts it off. It's not a gore movie, people.
Yeah.
But you could see like an arm and then the leg, and there's like a gun in a holster on the leg, and everyone's like, this is Fox McCloud. And everyone's like, oh, that made Nintendo, that forced them to reveal it. I'm like, no, it didn't.
Yeah, like, they could have just ignored you.
They didn't.
They could have just...
Yeah, I don't know why they chose to reveal it, especially so close to the movie, maybe to get people really pumped, but I don't think that was an issue. I think people were pretty pumped for it. Yoshi, played by Childish Gambino. I mean, I love it. And Jack Black said recently that he like really fought for, he really wanted that role.
Yeah, I read that quote.
That's really cool. Yeah. So, it makes me think that there probably is one or two more people they'll reveal, because if that's your big reveal, why did you do it before?
Yeah, isn't that
so
very odd? So I'm curious. There might be a couple other like little connections in there. I think everybody's really excited to see like a Link connection, and maybe it, like you were saying, something completely unrelated to the series they're doing, an animated Link that just happens to, you know, multiverse version of, like, I don't know how crazy they want to give all those details, but yeah, people were hoping for something like that. And I think there definitely are characters that if they went ahead and made a movie, an animated version within this whole Mario realm, people would be really excited for it. Obviously leading to some type of Smash Bros down the road. So.
Right. Yeah. Like some big thing. I mean, if you're them, that's what you have to do. Like, I'll segue this into Spider-Man because it works really well. Like, giving the people what they want. You know what I mean? Like, you make movies for the and you know what I like? Ryan Gosling, I think it was, recently said something.
I have it written down.
Yeah, he was talking and he said that it's not up to the fans to what's the quote? You said I have it written down. What is this quote?
I have it here because it was one of the things I was going to bring up because it kind of touched me, I guess I'd say. But yeah, he showed up to a random theater for Project Hail Mary, which I have not seen yet. I know.
Me neither, but I hear it's fantastic.
I'm going to go see it. I just haven't yet. But Ryan Gosling showed up to a random theater. They stopped the film before it started. He jumped out, and he's been gassed about this project, obviously.
Yeah.
And he said, quote, "It's not your job to keep the theaters open. It's our job to make things
Right.
that make it worth you coming out."
Right. That make us want to go to the
Exactly.
theaters.
But it's not
to
even
see
that. It's like, I do feel like I agree with the mentality here of what he's saying specifically. There's definitely been this idea like, oh, people aren't going to theaters or they're lazy. Like, it feels like it's been put on the fans for not supporting the projects. I really like
Yeah.
that he's almost standing up to Hollywood, and he's like, "Hey guys, we're the problem, right?
Yeah.
I'm the artist. I'm the one that's paid for this. I'm the one that needs to be putting my passion and my thoughts and my idea with the fans and what they want in mind to create projects that are going to fill theaters the way Project Hail Mary
Right.
has." And that's
Right.
not some big Marvel movie or something. Like, that's just
Well,
a project
yeah.
that is doing very, very well. So it's possible,
Yeah.
but you got to make something that people want to see.
Well, to your point right there, that like I was actually going to say the same thing. Like, and it doesn't have, like, everyone thinks it has to be some like giant spectacle, big deal, but like he's doing it with, you know, it was a book before, but
Yeah,
I mean,
popular
he's doing
book.
it with this movie, which is just, it looks cool, it looks interesting, right? It sparks my interest to, and then it's Ryan Gosling, he's great, so it makes me want to go, yeah, I want to go see this. Looks like a
Yeah.
good time, you know, looks like a good movie. Like, that makes me want to go to the theater. And I thought that was really cool. And the segue I was talking about was I was gonna say give the fans what they want. Tom Holland talking about that, how he is, you know, we might have talked this on the podcast or live, but he, you know, he scoured the internet and he looked at what fans wanted, right? And that's what I think you should do. I think you should do that. Now, the video probably is coming out today, I'm thinking in my head. Where I was talking about, there's a video where I talk about Tom Holland actually doing that and looking at what fans want and what would they want. And then some people might think, oh, Tom did that, and that's why Jean Grey is in the movie. But I actually think that was a Feige decision. And I want to talk about that for a bit because, I mean, I will say this, I won't name names, but I have talked to 3 different insiders who have confirmed to me they have heard it from their sources that it is Sadie Sink. Now, each one of these have posted it on their own accounts by now. Cryptic HD Qual, Cryptic 4K Qual is the handle, just posted 2 days ago. Sorry, we film a day in advance. Talking about Jean Grey gets the first steps Sue treatment, basically meaning, unlike the Jeans before her on screen, where it's either like holding your, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like these
there's
little waves
no
that
visualization of the powers there, and how they did it with Sue Storm, all the reflective lighting around her and stuff, which I so enjoyed for the first steps. I thought visually that movie really was great.
Yeah.
So they're going to do the same thing they did with Sue Storm to Jean Grey. That's what Cryptic said. And it's kind of going to look like X-Men 97, which I think is like super, super cool. They should do that because it looks really cool. Yeah, but I think this was a Feige decision to set up the future of the X-Men. I found it ironic that last week we did a whole thing about how I'm like, it's Jean Grey, I believe it's Jean Grey, and now a lot of insiders are coming out and, you know, they've said it. So I bring it up again because now it seems like we have even more further confirmation. Jeff Snyder came out and said, yes, that's what I heard. Cryptic, yes, that's what I heard. And like I said, I talked to some other insiders as well, not one of those 2 that told me, yeah, it is. So boom.
But
I'm
before
happy.
any of
I will
them,
say,
Warren said 100%
what?
is Jessica. Before any of them said anything, Warren said 100% is Jean Grey. I'm convinced. You've been saying that for a long
and what's interesting is I'll mention it, or I'm not gonna mention the person, but I have it right here. Where are my personal DMs? I said there, I was basically, hey, like, it's kind of a hill I'm dying on right now. Any insight here about Jean Grey? She is, I hate it, but it's true. I'm like, why do you hate it? Because it doesn't super affect the plot. Like, whether Jean Grey is there or not, the plot moves forward kind of the same. I'm not sure how, like, it's a personal opinion, and I like this person We talk frequently. Again, I'm not going to mention any names, but it's a well-known insider. And I don't know, because we have the Punisher helping with Sadie Sink. We have Peter interacting with Sadie Sink. Like, I don't think that plot's the same without her in it. Like, you might get to the end result, but it's like, okay, remember the Big Bang Theory where they talk about how Indiana Jones has no effect on the outcome of the movie? Right. But it's like, but we don't want to see the movie without Indiana Jones.
I still enjoyed the movie regardless.
Right, exactly. It's like, sure, at the end, they still do the crate, and, you know, the end result is the same, whether Indy interfered or not. But you liked watching Indy. He's the main character of the film, right? So, yeah.
But I would even maybe build beyond that comment. Oh, the movie moves on with that. Well, yeah, like you just said, that's true almost about anybody except Spider-Man himself. Sony proved that for us.
They tried.
Little joke.
They tried.
But B,
I don't think they proved it.
But B, the thing that makes this the most exciting for me isn't, oh, Jean Grey's going to show up in Brand New Day. It's that we know that this is building for the future. I'm so worried about what she does in Brand New Day. I'm super excited for her involvement in Secret Wars, and then as well in the future of the MCU as we enter the Mutant Saga, where she's going to be this flag character that's now already been introduced at Brand New Day. So I'm way more excited for the foreshadowing of this. I think she's a fantastic actress. I think the character is going to be really cool to see interact with Spider-Man in real time. But then also, this is Marvel playing freaking 5D chess, and it's really, really awesome to see that. I'm really, really excited to see that.
Yeah. Like, you just reminded me of one of the, I feel like I've seen this a lot recently, where it's just kind of like, I don't know how I would frame it in this, kind of like other studios are playing checkers and Marvel's out here playing chess. Like,
yeah, something like that.
Right? Yeah, like something like that. And they are, right? And you have to think about everything Kevin Feige has said in the past, where, remember, he's like, hey, you know, whatever, like, we have announced, we have 5 years plus planned for after that we haven't announced. So they've announced to kind of to like 2028, basically, right? We got all those, there's 5 projects that they announced coming in 2027, 2028, and that means, so they have it planned to 2033, which is, gosh, it feels crazy saying 2033. Like, I don't know why. It feels weird. Like, it doesn't make me feel old, but it makes me feel weird. It just sounds weird to me.
It's funny. Not much really makes me feel old. I'm now 30, but I don't ever like think to myself, man, I'm getting old. Time's going by so quick. And I think the reason for that, this is a huge sidetrack from our podcast, but I think the real reason for that is I've been so active and like I've done so much in my life that when I look back and think back to the times, I'm like, I really couldn't have fit a whole lot more in the time I've had. Like, I've used all the time I've had very, very well. So I don't feel old. I just feel like I've done a lot, and that's really, really great. But that is so unrelated to what we're talking about here.
Well, I'll relate it, because at one, like, you and I are gonna like go to the theater when we're 80 years old to see Avengers versus Super Smash Brothers team, right? I mean,
yeah. I hate to tell you though, I am gonna be dead. I just had a daughter.
Probably.
It's 2025, and my wife said to her, holding her up, "You're gonna be 50 in 2075," and I said, "And I'll be," and Alex cut me off and was like, "No, you'll be dead," and I'm like, I'm only gonna be 80. I'm like, you think I'm gonna? She's like, oh, I guess I didn't realize you'll only be 80. I'm like,
skydiving explosion.
I was like, how did I die in a cave? Train? Like, she was like, I guess I didn't realize you'd only be 80. I'm like, she's like, she was just so assured. She's like, you'll be dead. I'm like, are you gonna kill me?
Yeah, right. Like, what do you have planned?
But yes, we will be going to the premieres of Spider-Man 9/11. That's poorly chosen numbers. Spider-Man 9/12.
I mean, there is a Spider-Man comic that shows 9/11, that shows Spider-Man saving people in the Magneto and people come.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's kind of dark. I mean, obviously it's a dark subject, and people are like, where were you? Like, talking to Spider-Man, like he's like helping people in the rubble, and they're like, where were you? Why didn't you stop this?
I did not know that. I might have to go find that. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's kind of, yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of crazy comics out there. That, yeah, I mean, that work in a lot of obviously like real life events and stuff like that. So, but okay, yeah, I mean, I'm just even Jean Grey in Spider-Man No Way Home makes me really excited. You
Yeah,
know
me
what
as
I mean?
well.
Like,
Me as well.
I almost, and I do think it was necessary. Like, No Way Home was so big. You have to make this one big, but in a different way. So having all of these villains, I actually think is really cool if it's done really well. Scorpion looks fantastic. Like, Scorpion looks cool. He's got the mechanical suit, and I don't know, maybe Venom shows up. I don't think like it takes over him and we get the black suit, but I think the symbiote's in there.
If they go be teased,
Put that video out today. I changed my mind a little bit on that. Whereas before I didn't think it was really going to play a role at all. But yeah. So let us know what you think about Sadie Sink being Jean Grey, because I'm super excited for it. I want to get to a Discord question.
Oh,
Yes, we have Discord. It's Cosmic Wonder Discord, which this is just an appendage of Cosmic Wonder as well. It's the Cosmic Wonder podcast, pretty much. We just thought the Cosmic Variance Authority sounded cool. But it's from Eugene Tan. Thank you, Eugene. Always commenting there. I see you. Let's assume that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will get the symbiote in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Will this open the door where we can potentially see a new actor coming on board to play Eddie Brock, basically? Can Marvel Studios and Sony find a way to bring back Tom Hardy, where he plays Eddie Brock Venom again, but will be a different version from the Venom movie?
a lot to unpack there.
Were you gonna say something?
I was just a lot to like. There's a lot of filling in the blanks. Spider-Man gets. I say this as a definite statement, but Spider-Man gets the Venom suit for the first time in Secret Wars. That's my assumption. But we're not going to get to the whole Spider-Man storyline in Secret Wars. We're going to get to that in Spider-Man 5, which we're very confident we'll be getting at least Spider-Man 5 and Spider-Man 6, I believe.
You know what I just thought of as you were okay, so it's really interesting. As you were talking, I had something primed in my head that Tom Hardy specific Eddie Brock is going to be in Secret Wars.
And
then I was like, right, but I also do believe Tom Holland will get the symbiote suit in Secret Wars. Okay. And this might actually solve a problem I was having before. Because if Tom Holland wearing the black Venom symbiote suit runs into Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he's going to be like, hey, that's bad. But then you have Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock is going to be like, no, you can control it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's not bad. That Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock isn't bad. What is the Earth Defender? What is his name?
Lethal Defender.
We're
the lethal defenders.
Right, exactly. Right, like, so I think that might actually solve a problem for me, because you would imagine Toby seeing the symbiote would be like, hey, whoa, hey, yeah, not good. Like, you know what I mean? Which to me, I was like, so then how would Tom continue to wear it in another movie, even for a little bit? Well, right, he could warn him, but then
definitely what we need or want. In my mind,
right,
not in any type of confirmed thing. He somehow ends the film with the symbiote. His next movie is going to be Venom. Like, that's the storyline with a new Eddie Brock and all that story. I think to the question that we're getting, which sparks a question to me, there are obviously different versions of Venom in even just the live action world as we have it. Do we want it to be the exact same Venom like Tom Hardy's with the voice and the talking and the same everything? Are we going to get a brand new one? Like, how is it going to come across?
I'm going to be honest. I think we're past Tom Hardy being the Venom in the MCU.
Right.
It's just a feeling.
But I mean, like,
I feel.
What about that specific symbiote, though? Not Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy.
That's fine. I think that's fine. I think the same symbiote is fine. But I also think just getting a new one is fine. It really here's the thing. Secret Wars reboot, you can say it's a different symbiote, right? Even if it literally is the same symbiote, you can literally change the story completely with the new universe.
Right.
So, I don't, maybe we'll go your route of slash it. Maybe it should be just a new one. But it's like, do they keep anything from the Sonyverse? Like the hive mind, because then it could connect to like then it could connect to Tom Hardy's Venom.
It could connect
Right?
to
And
Tobey Maguire's Venom. Because
it
technically it's
could,
the same
right?
thing,
Yeah.
right? Like that's how it would work because that's the hive mind.
Right. And clearly symbiotes have different like
Personalities.
right, yeah. They're sentient beings, right? But they're also temperamental, some of them. Right. We learned in the last Venom, some are good, some are really bad, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, in the multiverse, I guess some Venom symbiotes are pretty decent, like the ones that Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock has. And it's like, it's not like that symbiote is pure. Like it wants to eat heads, right? But Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock only gives them the heads of like really bad guys, right? So it's like, it's just a way, it's like a compromise, right? But then you have Tobey Maguire's that's like, no, that was just like terrible, right?
Yeah,
it's
that was the worst thing ever.
Right, yeah. It's like very, very bad symbiote. So
I guess that also brings a new problem, which is like the reverse of yours. If it is Tom Hardy's specific Venom, not Tom Hardy, just the symbiote. Let's say that attaches to Tom. We're hearing the same voice, same memories. He's like, yeah, no, my last host, we were having a party. We went to a dance club. We did all this crap. Great. We were the lethal defenders. I have a hard time seeing a scenario.
Lethal Protector?
Lethal Protectors. That's what it was.
That's what it was, right? Lethal Protector. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a hard time seeing a scenario where I turn on that Venom. Like, what is he going to do to make me be like, oh no,
that's a good point,
right? Like I'm gonna root for that Venom. I am not gonna be like, oh no, I hate that Venom. He's hilarious. He's funny. I feel like he genuinely has good intentions. Like unless he really just turns Tom Holland into a dickhead. Like I don't know what the problem's gonna be because he was a good guy with Eddie. Like we literally saw that, so it's not his fault.
Yeah, and you know what? I think seeing Eddie as Venom, obviously the Venom would be like, hey, I'm kind of on you. You know what I mean? Like he would sense a part of him on. So I do think it actually has to be
a different one.
Different. Yeah, I think I would agree with you. That you made a really good point there because I wouldn't.
I'm rooting for that.
Like,
Venom.
oh no,
like I am.
He's bad. Get rid of the symbiote. I'm like, no, just like tame it. Like just give him some heads of bad guys, which actually might be an issue because Tom Holland's not gonna. His Spider-Man's not killing people, right? Like
no,
like
not
he's
at
not
all.
Get,
There's no way that
symbiote's
works.
not getting heads, and maybe you go that route where he's just like Venom gets completely
uncaged,
dissatisfied and not satiated with. But I agree. I think it has to be a new one. I do think Tom Hardy shows up in Secret Wars, though. I think it'd be a dang shame if he didn't show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars. You know, like just would be a shame. Like and speaking of what Tom Holland said, that's what we want. You know, we've wanted specifically Tom Hardy and Tom Holland together, like very specifically. But I don't know. But thanks for the question, Eugene.
Great
guys,
question.
We put the Discord link in the description.
Discord.
So check it out if you want to go in there. There's a part that says podcast topics, and we'll talk about it. And with that, Chris, we're doing some overrated, underrated.
Oh no!
Ready?
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm gonna assume you haven't seen Kick-Ass yet.
No, I have not. I have not seen it yet. You can skip that one again.
Okay. Have you seen Megamind?
Yes, I have seen Megamind.
I just watched Megamind for the first time maybe a couple of weeks ago when my sister was in town with her nieces and nephews.
Okay.
Do you remember Megamind?
Relatively well, yeah. It's been a long time.
Okay, so overrated, underrated, Megamind. It has a 73 tomato meter, 72% popcorn meter. What do you think?
I'm a little shocky one here. I'm gonna say overrated. I don't think it's that good. Really. I really don't. I think it probably deserves to be in the 60s.
You think? Okay.
It's just I love Will Ferrell too, so it's not like he doesn't. I love Will Ferrell movies historically. It just didn't land for me. I saw it. It was a movie. I have never seen it again. Which
it was something I saw.
Yeah, it was a movie, and I did watch it. I feel like purred happily.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was a little. I feel like that was easier.
Yeah, that one felt.
I feel like you feel like that was easy for you. Yeah.
I didn't have to struggle over that one. Sometimes I do.
Okay, so how about this? I had one. I'm gonna switch it up for a little bit. I'm gonna throw. I don't know if it's really like a curveball, but I'm gonna give you Suicide Squad, the
Okay.
first one and then the second one. So,
Okay.
okay, so Suicide Squad, just Suicide
Just
Squad.
Suicide Squad. Thank you, James Gunn. I
Jared Leto
appreciate that.
Joker. Some of the same characters that bleed over, but not, we have Will Smith, Jared Leto Joker. So the first one, it's got a 26% tomato meter, 58% popcorn meter from the audience.
That's
Overrated, underrated, Suicide Squad.
Underrated. That's super easy. It's a fine movie. What did I say? Underrated. Yeah. You got a 26%. You think that movie's worth a 26%?
Well, no, let's go with the audience score, 58%.
Even at 58, I think that movie is a solid 68%. Easy, solid 68%. I would say it's breaking into the seas. It's entertaining. It was different at the time. Got to remember, this is 2016 now at that point. It was something that was different, and I didn't hate it. I did not hate it at all. I thought
I didn't hate it when I watched it either.
So yeah, I think that's harsh from the critics. Is it the world's best movie? 0%. I think if anything, it should be barely breaking into C category, probably D. But it does not deserve an F, and it definitely doesn't deserve all the hate it gets.
I would give it a low C. I'd give it a low C.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it when I saw it for what it was. I cannot stand Jared Leto though. So
yeah, he was really not kind of great,
and I did not like his.
I can't think
interpretation of the Joker.
I can't think of a movie he's in that I'm like, wow, Jared Leto did a really good job. I don't know how he getting hired. I mean, they just hired him for Tron. I can't think of a single movie that I genuinely have sat down and go, wow, Jared Leto really made that a great movie for me. It just doesn't exist. So.
And he ran a cult like outside in the world, right? On that island where they all wore white and it was just him and like a bunch of women.
That was a weird week.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, next, The Suicide Squad 2021.
This one might be hard.
Parents, I believe, when they came to visit.
Yeah. I think so.
90% tomato meter, 82 popcorn meter, The Suicide Squad, overrated or underrated? Or perfectly rated.
I care more about the popcorn meter.
So right. 82, that's what we typically go by.
I think 82 is pretty fair. If I had to pick one, I'd say that's underrated. I think it's probably like a solid mid to high B. I thought it was funny. I thought the characters were well done. I thought James Gunn's first DC movie, so there was a lot more color and pop and speed. It obviously led into the Peacemaker spinoff, which I think Peacemaker is hilariously great.
Peacemaker season 1 is fantastic. There's a lot of great parts of season 2. But it wasn't as good as season 1.
But yeah, no, I would say overall that is probably slightly underrated. I would give it an extra 2 or 3 points there to make it a bit more of a solid B.
Personally. I would probably throw it at 85% too.
Yeah, I think it deserves that. Yeah. I think it was a really fun movie in a world. You also have to appreciate this movie was dropped and created in a world where DC was quite not even a sinking ship. It was a sunken ship. Like James Gunn got on some scuba gear, dove down to a ship at the bottom of the ocean, is like, let's make a movie, guys. Like, and it turned out pretty freaking good. He was using some characters from the Suicide Squad that nobody liked, somehow connecting them into and he's done that with the DCU almost, except he just was like, you know what, let's slash almost everything and start over.
Right. And he did kill off like a bunch of people from the old suit. Like he killed a lot of, I can't remember the actor's name, but he killed a lot of the characters off in the beginning of the movie when they were going to that island. So it's like, yeah, sure. Some managed to survive like the shift from the old Suicide Squad to the Suicide Squad, but then they died right away.
Which was almost the statement he was making. And I guess it's hard to say because we don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you do, where James Gunn was in the talks with DC at that point. If he knew what his future was going to be,
led to it.
It certainly led to it. If it wasn't already a conversation, he jumped back to Disney real quick to finish the Guardians, which I'm glad he did, and then went back over. But yeah, I mean, if it led to the dude literally running the new DCU, then I think that's fair to say that it was, at least to somebody's eyes, rather successful. So yeah, I think a solid high B is deserved for that.
Same. Here's one that I found the score is interesting. The tomato meter 79%.
Okay.
The popcorn meter is 91%.
Wow.
Black Widow.
Oh. Wow.
I didn't think it would be rated that high by the fans.
That is kind of crazy.
All I've heard on the online discourse is bad things.
We spent 3 years listening about how much everybody hates. When people go, Marvel fell off, the first thing they cite is Black Widow.
Well, because that was like one of the first things that came out.
Right, but why is it Evan 91 then? That's crazy. I'm actually surprised by that.
That's what I said. And I don't hate the movie. And I think you know how I feel about this movie? I feel the same way about this movie that I feel about Captain America Brave New World. At the core, it's good, but it has the potential to be so much better.
You know what I mean? Like, say based off of the score, it's overrated because that's what I'm basing it off of. It's got to be like an 82, 3 max, I feel like.
I feel like it's a B movie.
And that's being kind of generous. I could see it dropping down to like anywhere from 78 to 83 is where I would say it probably deserves to be, depending on who watched it and how they were feeling when they watched it. Because it just wasn't that exciting. I think the movie came later than it needed to. We should have gotten that movie way sooner. Sure. And that would have changed a lot for it.
I think so too. And you know what I think really has it being so high is the cast. I mean, the cast is amazing. And people love Black Widow. Like, they love Black Widow. And then you got introduced to Yelena Belova, Red Guardian, right? That whole family dynamic in that is great. Like, I think the Red Guardian is one of my favorite characters in the MCU right now. So is Yelena. So I think the characters really carried it. The story was a bit lacking. What they did with Taskmaster was crazy. And maybe that's the 9% of people who didn't like it, the people who actually know who Taskmaster is and what it was supposed to be and how they changed it. And look, that's not a shot at Olga Kurylenko. She was like my first interview ever. I interviewed her and she's a delight. She was done dirty in the Thunderbolts, but they just made some interesting creative decisions, and the CGI parts, some CGI parts were genuinely terrible. And that's how I feel about Captain America Brave New World. Like, some of the CGI parts were absolutely terrible. It doesn't break the movie, but it does kind of
it definitely affects it when you have the MCU standard you're trying to live up to.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is like, it's a dang shame because I love Anthony Mackie. I think he's great as Falcon, Sam, Captain America. I think he's done a great job with that character. And I wanted more for him as Captain America from that movie. And it was just so cut up. That is just, I hope he gets like some pretty big redemption moments in a Doomsday.
I suppose ultimately when movies comes out doesn't matter. Ultimately.
What do you mean? Oh, when, whatever.
Yeah, like physically when they are released. But I feel like this movie does so much better if it was released Phase 3 instead of Phase 4. Like pre-Endgame.
Oh, it should have been it should have been after
like Phase
Iron
2.
Man 2 when she was introduced in the MCU.
Like, you drop this movie then, and maybe the way Marvel's groups or like studies work, it was like, no, a woman lead superhero back then wouldn't have done as well. That's why we had to wait. I don't know what their research says, but from my point of view, people always like Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. Right? I don't think, a woman-led superhero movie would have been a problem in Phase 2 or 3, especially if it was that specific woman with that specific superhero. People loved her in Iron Man. People really, really enjoyed her confidence, her ability. I think you give me that movie earlier.
Yeah.
I think, it would have had a little bit more of the old world MCU charm to it than the new world MCU charm. So it would have actually been a different movie, and it would have been way better. And then we'd be talking about it as like one of the best movies. Realistically.
Right. You know what I think they should have done? Playing off what you just said, they should have done it after Iron Man 2, and they should have had Hawkeye have a decent role in it as well.
Yeah, and that for me, with the old world effects, the old world charm, it feels like it fits in with the Iron Man movies, the Thor movies. You're even seeing her younger in the film, and then you watch it years later. And it's like, wow, look how young they look. Like she was playing a role, not that she looks bad, but she was playing a role where she's supposed to be younger, older. Like, it's just different. You go back and watch any one of you. I challenge every single one of you watching this. Go watch Thor 1, Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, the first Avengers. You go, whoa, they look so young. Because they were so young. It was literally 20 years ago. So, 20, almost 20 years ago, Iron Man came out. 2008, So, I think it would have done a lot better if they gave her the movie with the rest of the Avengers. I'm sure they had some type of market research that implied that wasn't true, but I think they misestimated that. So I'm going to say it's a little overrated there, but I think the movie was done very dirtily.
I think most people actually agree that it was done dirtily, if that's a word.
It is now.
It was done dirty.
Dirtily.
Yeah, so, but all right. Okay. There you go. Underrated, overrated. Boom.
All right. Something that has to be discussed. And I'm going to preface it. I'm going to preface it by asking you a question.
Okay.
Are you actively, Warren, sitting in this chair right now, more excited or less excited for the first series of Harry Potter now than you were 3 days ago before the trailer came out?
I'm more excited.
More excited.
I'm glad you brought this up because this was obviously something we had to talk about.
I was so excited for this. I actually really, really, really enjoyed the trailer.
So did I. And obviously, like, there's some elephants in the room we have to talk about, obviously.
Qualms. I have some qualms. We sold our qualms.
I have seen... Okay, well, first of all, the trailer's fantastic. It's fantastic.
It feels like Harry Potter.
Amazing. It feels like Harry Potter. They changed some stuff. I've read all the books, right? There's a lot that's in the books that are not in the movies. Yes, I am so excited that we have entire seasons dedicated to one book, right? That's how they're going to do it. If y'all don't know, it's one season per book. Mm-hmm. So 8 episodes in the first season for the whole entire first book. There's so much, like that scene in the trailer. For people who don't like, there's many scenes in the trailer that's like, you only know what happens if you read the book, so they weren't in the movies. Like when she's cutting his hair, it grows back. Mm-hmm. Like it just grows back very, very quickly, almost instantly, right? And so it's like that's showing his powers, and that's why she's like, you are not special. And then where Dudley has like this gang of bullies, and they corner him they put him in like to that corner where they're bullying him in the school. He ends up teleporting to the roof. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like, or apparating, I don't know what you call it. It's a magical powers make him. Right. So there's like so many things like that I think are really cool that we get to see because they've already showed us that we're going to get to see these things. I think costume and props in the CGI, like, no pun intended, got to give them props because it's like, I think everything looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. It really does. Like the whole Quidditch thing, the shots that we've seen, there's snow on the ground.
That first image that came out before the trailer, that was about as Harry Potter as something gets.
Right. And then I noticed, because I did a TikTok on it, like they have the Gryffindor and Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw. I think it was Hufflepuff. They changed the banners. They changed the Hogwarts logo on the chest. It's like the H is like made of like 2 trees now, which is pretty cool. What do you have?
I'll bring it up here in a second because I had thought about it while we were talking about it. But no, they've made some really cool detail changes. Have you heard this? And if you have you heard this? They spent about, on all 8 Harry Potter movies, $1 billion.
5.6 billion?
No, on the first Harry Potter movies was $1.2 billion.
On all of the movies?
Yeah. They're spending $5.6 billion on the Harry Potter series. So they will be spending 5 times the amount of money on the series. So it's not small budget. This is a big production.
So I did a TikTok on that specific thing yesterday. At 100 million an episode. Somebody said like, oh, this was kind of debunked already. It wasn't that much. It's more like 20 million. They haven't publicly disclosed it yet. Mm-hmm. I don't think. But if it is around 100 million, it is the most expensive show ever made. Yeah. 5.6 billion is crazy, right? And
there shouldn't be a hair out of place in this show at that price point.
No. I love what I saw.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for talk about Snape.
I'm waiting for a but. Yeah.
Well, we have to talk about Snape. And here's the deal.
Let me ask you this before we do dive down it, because we're obviously going to have this discussion. Is that your only issue so far with the project?
It's not even an issue. I don't necessarily have an issue with Papa Essedu because I've seen so much about him being Snape. First of all, I'm just going to throw this out there. he's getting death threats because of this. My gosh, leave the man alone.
Yeah, like it's his fault.
Like, oh my gosh, so unnecessary. Like, that's crazy. Like, you think this guy is maliciously coming in to play Snape?
Just to make
Or
your
you think
day
it's
bad.
like an actor getting like a shot at a once in a lifetime role? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Now I've seen so much. Like, there was this woman and she was black and she was talking about how, why didn't they think about the consequences that were going to happen to like the black community and to this person, Pop Essadue, by putting him in this role? Because like there's some good things to it, but she even said like there's some negative things that come to it, like all the backlash he's getting, right? And then there's the people who are talking about, you know, yeah, you know, he's gonna get bullied by James Potter, and that's going to look really bad. And he hangs him magically in one scene. That's going to look really bad because he's black. Harry's going to be suspicious of Snape the entire time. And it's like, oh, why are you suspicious of this black man? You know, I get all that. I do get all that. And at first I was like, I just really hope it's not DEI crap, right? Like, I am all for equality. And DEI, I think, goes against that, right? DEI says, I just care about your race, which to me is racist, right? You should be judged on your qualifications as a person, despite whatever race you are. So the first thing that I thought, I was like, I really hope it's not a DEI thing, because I hate any type of agenda pushing into films from any side, from any like anything that feels forced. I hate it. I can't stand it. It should be about the story. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's a weird choice. It's very interesting. But if the man brings it and is a great Snape, I don't care.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
I
The
don't
stage is
care.
set.
Like, I am not one of those people who is really stuck on Snape being like white, the pale face description that they've added, because this is what I think, and I've seen videos on this too. In such an iconic role like his, you could go the Adam Driver route, and he was right. I mean, he was, you know. So here's what I want to say. There's, I think, one of two ways. You go the Adam Driver route, and you get him to look exactly like Alan Rickman did, act the same way Alan Rickman did, or you go the other route where it's like you keep the essence of the character, but the acting is different. And he looks different. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the route they went, right? And so I don't know the thought process behind what they're thinking. I'm totally here to give him and everybody really in the series a shot. I see all the time the people who are like, but who asked for this? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I want it. Right? Like I love
this series,
me, though,
I'm
too. It's
super
like
excited for the
I
series.
love the IP. Right? And like the other people are old and done now. Right? They're older, not old. And are you asking me, do I want more Harry Potter? Yes, if it's done right. It's like the Lord of the Rings. Do I want the new Stephen Colbert piece of crap movie that it's going to be? No. I don't know what the hell that's about. Stephen Colbert writing the Lord of the Rings. I can't stand that guy. So no. Hunt for Gollum, I'm here for, though, because it's the, a lot of the original cast.
Coming back to that, yeah.
And I believe that they're going to do it justice, right? So I'm not worried about the essence of Lord of the Rings being kept in the Hunt for Gollum. But I was with the Rings of Power, and I hate the Rings. Not hate Rings of Power, but it's not. I don't think it's very good. I hope it gets better. So it's like I have a lot of mixed feelings on it, but I think overall, what I would say is I'm here for it. All of it.
I
right?
think they captured
saying,
the feeling really well.
Right. So when I watched the trailer, I'm like, I just feel.
And
Harry
they
Potter,
named the first series Philosopher's Stone.
Philosopher's Stone.
Which was a great point of what they're doing. Like, everybody I've seen so many people retweet the trailer or repost the trailer on X and write, why are we doing this? That title alone is the reason. Like, it's the books. They're making the books a little bit more shot for shot, giving the details for the people who enjoyed those details that really are more magical, a little bit more sinister in some senses, a little bit more emotional even. And I think that's going to be really cool. And it's going to be really exciting to watch these children, I'll call them the trio, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, grow up we did
kids.
with the first ones. Like, they're going to grow up into be adults by the time we're finally in the last season. And it's going to be this whole growing just like it was with the original cast. And I think it's going to be really cool. The thing that I grabbed, because Harry Potter is unique to any other IP in the world. And this is where you can get some type of chill I'm trying to think of the right word, but some type of calming feeling. J.K. Rowling is behind every single Harry Potter driven decision. She has final word, final say. She makes sure of it in anything that uses her licensing 100%. I just went to Universal. We were talking about at the beginning of the thing. On my ticket, Universal ticket, to go to Universal, on the back of the ticket, it says Harry Potter and all related characters and elements in Warner Brothers Entertainment Publishing, J.K. Rowling, Hard Rock, blah, 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 blah. All rights reserved. This is a theme park with Spider-Man, and Universal doesn't even own Spider-Man rights. Like all the things that they own. And on the back of just the ticket to get into the place, they're talking about how J.K. Rowling has the rights to it is so meticulously detailed by the one woman who literally brought the whole up idea, regardless of what you think about her right now with whatever she's into. Like, she's not going to let her literal life's work get ruined by HBO or who's making this. HBO making this, right? Like, she will step in and close the whole thing down if she feels like she has to. My point is, it's going to be pretty great. Like, if you love Harry Potter up to this point and you've enjoyed what they've created Harry Potter, it's going to be the same. That's kind of how I feel on that.
No, I agree. And that was my first thought process when they were like, Pop has to do is cast a Snape. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I immediately thought, okay, you know what they're trying to do? Like, Alan Rickman's performance was, I would say,
perfect.
Oh, it was perfect. But like, his character, I would say, is more important or more prominent more times than not than Dumbledore. Right? You think about the prominent characters, he is one of the big characters.
Yeah.
Right. Boy. And so obviously you have to keep Harry and Ron and them kind of looking basically the same, right? Dumbledore's got to have the long beard. You know what I mean? Like that. I think Snape is a character that you can go the opposite direction for looks wise and some other things wise. Cause you know, they still like, he's got the long, what was the description is like greasy black hair. Right. Technically he does have that. I would say, not dreads, but you know, I will say that the hairstyle was a choice.
Not your favorite choice.
You know, some people are like, oh, he's out here looking at like the guy from Good Burger.
Oh gosh.
Keenan and Kel. He's looking like Kel, and that's the same exact haircut that he had. I found that funny because I watched Keenan and Kel all the time as a kid. But I think the fact that, like you said, J.K. Rowling had to sit there and watch him audition and go, "You are Snape." I'm okay.
Well, that's the
because
thing.
I know
if
that's
she
what
says
happened.
He's
I know that's
Snape,
what.
Guess
If
what?
she says
he's freaking Snape.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If she says he captures the essence of Snape, then he does.
And literally nobody can argue with her. And that is the one thing I think I wish more people had done with their IPs is just not allow themselves to be detached from them. Because when she says something, there's not a soul on the planet that can argue with her. If she thinks that that's what Snape was like, then nobody can tell you otherwise, right? It's not like somebody else has creative control and then 10 years from now she could be like, yeah, I don't know why they used that person. That's not how I wrote them. Like, she's sitting there making the final decision on everything. Imagine if, you know, George Lucas still had that ability with a lot of the Star Wars stuff. Or, you go through all these different IPs where eventually creative control is lost and it's like, well, that wasn't my original vision, but I didn't have a say anymore. That it is a really, really, really cool thing that she's done, and people call her like crazy for it. But I mean, I kind of get it. Like, I kind of feel like I would be wanting to do the same thing if I did what she did.
No, I would too. And you know what's interesting is going back to the Ryan Gosling thing. I think it's nice to hear him say that and speak out. I actually think a lot of actors more recently have been speaking out kind of against like the culture of Hollywood, because I really don't think, I've said it before, I don't think these higher ups at these studios really have a grasp on what fans actually want and care about. I really don't think they do. Yeah. But I think some of the actors who are more grounded, like Ryan Gosling, I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they're rare. But if it's kind of like you said, like if George didn't sell to Disney and he still ran everything, like I don't think there'd be much agenda pushing or anything like that in these movies, like anything forced, anything like that. I think we just have pure Star Wars essence. You know what I mean? We would have never had the Acolyte. I'll tell you that.
I think
But,
it's super interesting. But I think genuinely my feeling, and I would even be aggressive and say the feeling of the fan base should be pretty excited for this project. I think it's going to hit a lot of those unique feelings that Harry Potter invokes specifically. And I think that's obviously all that really matters at the end of the day. Give me a new story, give me some new details, give me some new actors and different directions and reflections of these characters on the screen, and let's see how it rolls. So
yeah, and I understand all sides, because it's like I can relate to the people who are like, why do we need this? It's gonna suck, because that's how I kind of felt about the Rings of Power. Except it wasn't even like, why do we need this? Because I was like, okay, this is an untold story. And it'd be cool to see on screen. But when I saw how it was, I was like, it's not gonna work. It's just like they're not staying true to Tolkien. And that's the problem, right? That's the problem. If they would have stick true to the essence and everything Tolkien wrote, like, it would have been a great series, but it wasn't. So I can see how people might think Harry Potter might be like that and ruin something that they love. I get that totally, but I think it's going to be great, and I think it's just going to add to the love. But we'll see. I hope it is, but we never know, you know? But based on that first trailer, I love it.
yeah, no, I think it's going to be. I mean, I saw the first picture. I didn't realize the trailer was going to drop, and I saw that first picture where he's walking to the stadium. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. They're kind of cooking here. I could feel it just from that image. I'm like, this has what you want. And then the trailer, I was like, oh, this is incredible. So very awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of cool things to talk about today. We went through, this was like the most variety-driven episode we've done so far.
Yeah, and I'll end it just real quick, because you're saying there's so much. Oh, no, I dropped something. Here's what 2026 has in store. Super Mario Galaxy movie, April 1st. Mortal Kombat 2, May 8th. Mandalorian and Grogu, May 22nd. Disclosure Day, with that's Steven Spielberg's film, June 12th. Toy Story 5, June 19th. Supergirl, June 26th. Minions 3, July 21st. Wait, July 1st. The Odyssey, July 17th. Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 31st. Resident Evil, September 18th. Street Fighter movie, October 16th. Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, November 20th. The new Narnia movie, which, yeah, November 26th. Dune Part 3, December 18th. Avengers Doomsday, December 18th. A movie called Werewolf, December 25th. And then the next Jumanji movie is in there somewhere. They didn't put it on this list, but that's there as well. A lot coming. It's a good year for movies, and next year is actually 2027 is insane as well. So
yeah, no, I think.
Let us know what you're most excited for in the comments down below. What do you think of Starfox, Harry Potter, Sadie Sink being Jean Grey? Let us know. Be sure to check out the Discord, like the video, and subscribe if you're not, because we'll be back at it next week again. Anything else to add, Chris?
CVA Hunter word is dirtily.
Dirtily. That's not a word, but it is the hunter's word.
CVA hunter's word.
It is
dirtily.
the CVA hunter's word. Dirtily.
Comment
Thanks for
dirtily down
coming to
below
this
if you
episode,
made it
guys.
to the end. Subscribe, like, share, hype, and do all those good things, guys.
Peace.
Dirtily.
Dirtily.